sijaenda sana, wacha nisalimie watu wangu ya diaspora. Nitaanza na chairman mwenyewe Joel Arama aweze kukaribisha watu wake, alafu tunajua kazi ni vipi. Arama, good morning. How are you? Sikupata ya Arama, sijui vipi. Hello.
Sauti iko sawa.
Oh, labda kwake basi.
Arama.
Yeah, labda kwake. I can hear you.
Yeah.
Toka na zembea kazi.
Kama kuna mtu ananisikia ama anisikize?
Tunakusikia.
Mnanisikia?
We can hear you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, alright. Wapi jamaa yetu Arama? Ama Arama ndiye alikuwa amenyonga mic yake?
Hapana, mic yangu iko
Ah,
sawa.
vipi lakini?
Mimi ni fundi wa mitambo bwana, kwa kitambo sasa hii haiwezi kuwa na shida.
Alright, habari ya leo ndugu. Unajua mtu saa zingine unasema good morning na kumbuka kwenu ni usiku. Sasa inabidi umesema tu habari yako.
Yeah. Good morning here, good evening is always morning somewhere in the world. So good morning is still appropriate.
How are you doing?
Yes, I'm doing fine. Pleasure to be here today. Excited to be with my friends and colleagues now. Tuendeleze mjadala tuone vile tutasaidiana.
How's your week been, baba?
Week has been busy but good.
Umepangaje show ya leo?
Show ya leo, I think our biggest focus today ni mambo ya COVID bwana. Personally, I am very angry. I'm very disappointed. I'm very sad. We talk, I think at the appropriate time, tutaongea zaidi, but our biggest focus today ni mambo ya COVID na what's happening in our country. What can people do? What can we do? Kuna wengine wanataka kuongea mambo ya vaccine yenye imetoka sasa. Tutaongea mengi kuhusu hiyo. If there are people with their opinions, I'm not a medical person, so nitasema ile yangu najua tu kidogo.
Okay.
Lakini biggest kwamba ni hii COVID it's very sad. We are losing very professional people. You know the case of the young doctor, Dr. Mugusu. It's a sad situation so far. As far as I know, about 14 doctors have passed away from this disease, from this virus. And what I would call negligence of the highest order from our government, both national and counties. So sometimes you lack words what to say, you know. Sijui ni serikali tuko naye ama ni a band of thieves and a group of idiots. You know, I don't like using such words in public, but sometimes jamani, watu wengine hapa vile wanaongea unashangaa huyu ni mtu kweli aliamka asubuhi na akili zake ama aliwacha zingine kwa blanketi, you know.
Leo ni kama umeamka na mkono ya left.
Bwana, you know, I mean, how can you live with yourself ukiambia watu ati hii mambo ya madaktari nyinyi kaeni kando, wacha tumalize BBI alafu tutarudi kwenu. People are dying. I mean, on top of that, how can you have, mimi sijawahi sikia any MCA, any governor, any member of parliament, any senator, either the president or the deputy president wakisema hii mwezi sijapata mshahara. All of them get paid every month on a timely basis. Wanapata their sitting allowances, wanapata everything. Kwa nini daktari mwenye anasaidia watu ana save lives goes 5 months without pay? Where? I mean, what kind of nonsense is this? I mean, I don't understand it. Kama governor, watu wa kwanza wanafaa kujinyima mshahara if there is no money is the governor, all the senior county executives, the MCAs. Our watu, they are not supposed to be paid. You need to pay the essential workers first. Who are our healthcare doctors? They need to be, healthcare workers need to be paid first. On top of that, mimi nashangaa kwa nini you don't have a hazard pay for these people. It is a risky business right now. It's more risky. Hao watu wanajitolea, wanaenda hapo, you know, sometimes hata kama amevaa hizo PPE jamani hakuna. So they are risking their lives. There is no hazard pay. Huyu kijana ameaga, hata insurance hana. How is that possible? The governors and the MPs and everybody else work on executive insurance. They can fly out of the country when they want to be or somewhere else. These people in the country, they don't even have an insurance. I remember last time, I think when the first doctor passed, the lady was concerned and auliza watu, how much is the cost of my treatment so far? Why would someone be concerned about how much they pay when they have sacrificed their lives to help us, people who don't know what to do in the medical field, to help us to take care of our families and friends? Alafu, hamujawapatia insurance. On top of that, you don't even pay them. And even when you pay them, you don't pay them what they are supposed to be paid. Alafu on the other side, unaona the Ministry of Health, whatever, Mutahi Kagwe kazi yake piga pale na kukula pesa ya mandazi ya COVID yananua mandazi. You stand in front of people and say the Cuban doctors will stay. Now on top of them being paid, we are going to provide vehicles for them, each doctor. How can you provide these people with vehicles when your own people, citizens of the country, are not being paid? What kind of government is this? Alafu sisi wananchi tumekaa tu. I saw the video you posted leo, jamaa anasema jamani, we need to wake up. To me, my message to Kenyans today is, today are the doctors. The teachers have gone through the same problem. So many other people, so many other workers have gone through the same problem of asking for raises, our party. But the doctors, the healthcare workers, nurses, na watu wanafanya kwa hospitali, they are at a higher risk right now. Can we please take care of them? Can we insist of them getting the same hazard pay? And if these people die in the line of duty, their families need to be compensated. Kama mnaweza lipia member of parliament when he dies for whatever reason, but he has the death benefits is paid to the families in millions. Why cannot we do the same for our healthcare workers and pay them hazard pay on top of that, death benefits if they die, especially from the COVID? Why don't we do that? Mimi, I'm challenging, call your members of parliament, your senators, waambie. I don't even understand why these people are not even asked in parliament and pass a motion to recognize these people who have died, and on top of that, to do something to help them out. I don't understand it. Jameni, what kind of country are we living in?
Too bad.
Well, like I said, I'm angry, but we'll continue with the conversation. Let my fellow guys.
Uko na wakina nani leo kwa panel? I think I'll let you introduce them.
Christopher Sang hapo, tuko na Robert, Dr. Boniface, Dennis namuona hapo, Bwana Monda namuona, Lagat yuko, namuona mwingine hapa hivi, ni kama sijui hii ni kitanda sijui ya COVID ama ako usingizi. Dalut hapo. Wacha kuzima kamera bwana. Wacha tukuone.
I think you can introduce the panel because you have your lineup. You can introduce them as they give their open remarks.
All right, so let's start with Christopher Sang. Please.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Rama. Good evening, guys. I'm very delighted to be part of this panel today. Mr. Bitok and all Kenyans, good morning. Yes, like you alluded, Mr. Rama, we are all upset with what is going on in our country right now. Nobody is paying attention to the healthcare workers, and they are the main people that every Kenyan relies on when we're going through this pandemic right now. We've had so many lessons across the world of the difficulties that everybody else has gone through and now they've overcome. But it seems Kenyans, the leaders in our country, seem to be asleep on the job because they don't seem to have a plan of action for anything. I don't see the governors having preparedness on the next steps. They just look up to the national government to give direction. Kagwe yako na story zake na kamera zake, lakini magavana, they don't hold any press conference to guide the counties on, okay, here are the steps that we're going to take. This is what we're going to do next. And it's sad because all they're specializing is Harambes over the weekend, and they forget that the county hospitals lack equipment. Why don't they organize Harambes for the healthcare workers to buy equipment and PPEs? You know, it's sad that PPEs are sitting in go-downs in Nairobi or elsewhere because they can't decide who is supposed to do what because of all these cases and things like that. You know, they should be able to track those things and release those PPEs to help the people. It's really sad that this young doctor had to pass this past week and hasn't been paid. You know, I can't imagine myself, I work in the healthcare, to even go for a month without pay because you'll end up in a very bad place, you know, and these people are young, they have young families and things like that. How are they going to be able to take care of themselves? if they don't even have insurance? So those are some of the things that angers us here, because there's a lot of resources in our country, but our leaders are the ones that are actually failing us. And we keep telling people, wake up and, you listen to policy as opposed to just following people just in there too, without direction. You had the comments that the praises that Ojamong and our Right Honorable retired gave regarding the passing of these doctors, and it's just sad because the doctors are striking because wamefika kiwango ya mwisho kabisa, and nobody seems to be trying to assist them. So we'll say more later on, but it's really sad that our governors don't seem to have a plan, and they're the leaders of our counties, and everything starts in the county level. So they need to actually wake up and do their jobs. Tuendelea, Rama.
Thank you, Bwana Sang. Robert.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rama. Thank you very much, Bitok. Good evening this morning. I know it's morning in Kenya and a lot of places, other places in the world. Huku kwetu, it's evening. We are retiring. Najua huku kwetu ndio tunabahati. Hata Yesu akirudi, ataanzia huko kwenyu, alafu mtatuambia. Kama ni kubaya, tunaokoka mapema. By the time inafika huko kwetu, sisi, nyinyi mtakuwa mmeenda, sisi tunasafishwa. Anyway, thank you panelists, Christopher, naona Monda, naona Langat, naona Daktari Boniface. I am so happy, at the same time so disappointed to actually have joined my fellow panelists, including studio pale, Mr. Bitok. Nakwambia, it is one of the saddest days, and I usually wonder why people disown their countries, and now I have a better reason to see why people disown their countries. When I see people disowning their countries, even in terms of money, I think they usually have a very concrete reason. It is one of the saddest moments to actually see politicians not even caring about a life that they can even lose themselves. Unajua, that is the most unfortunate thing. The other day, I was so happy when I saw these politicians coming up with BBI, and I thought they were sincere. This is the day that I'm losing the slimmest hope that I had with the politicians, na ndio imekwisha kabisa. And I baptize myself, and I'm saying, if at all politicians are the people that we can actually follow in this day and time, I think you will be going to a very different, I don't even want to say where you'll be going to. But with that said, I feel like as Kenyans, we are the enemies of ourselves. We are seriously the enemies of ourselves. If a politician calls for a rally right now to oppose something, you are the first person who leave your bed and leave your house to go support that. But when you see the doctors who save your life dying, your mom, I was so embarrassed when I saw on Twitter everybody trying, I think it was just on the social media, everybody trying to discredit how the young doctor died. Some were for and some were against, and it was something that I didn't even want to read, because I don't even feel like you're a human being if you can feel like this person went through whatever he went through to save lives. But even the government he was working for and the people they were working for, none even came out to support that whatever happened was bad. But unajua sasa sijui yeye alianguka wapi. The other day I thought now the hustlers tulikuwa tumepata mtu mwenye atatutetea. But even the deputy president, including the president and the other MPs, have not even talked anything. I know of members of parliament who are doctors, who would have been the first people to actually stamp their feet and say no. The other day, they were actually trying to share revenue. They were united. Pesa inawavuta pamoja. But it's quite unfortunate that when it comes to life, something that holds everybody, nobody knows siku yake ni lini. But what we all needed to actually guard with all arsenals, hakuna mtu anaongea hata juu yake. The government has not even come out to actually say, hata kama watatudanganya, what really happened. It is so unfortunate. We as diasporians, we are really, really disappointed and we are embarrassed to actually call ourselves Kenyans at this particular time. Countries, the third country that was actually flagging off its COVID vaccine was Canada. I don't even know if Kenya has a plan to actually have the vaccine. Now hata kupata vaccine, I don't even know hiyo vaccine ikifika kama kweli itafika ama itaibiwa kwa airport. That's my point.
Yeah, very sad indeed. Dr. Bwana Boniface, Daktari.
Thank you so much, Alama. I don't know whether you're getting me clearly.
Yes.
And I think the conversation, everybody is given a chance to say hi, but they progress, and somehow maybe we need to come up with a style in which we can always discuss and come up with. But of course, I understand that all of us, we have been touched, especially this week, and more especially after losing a young doctor, which preferably I would say is very sad. And in this regard, as we are coming here today, we really have to discuss about it. And I'm also coming back to be talk about the invitation of the KMPDU acting, what do you call, what is it?
Acting Secretary General.
Acting Secretary General. I don't understand. Please, we need to come up in a situation whereby we can discuss and make an influence. What we really have to come up with is that let us not underestimate ourselves. Let us come out and clearly try to pull these strings. If it is possible, we can change even one person. You know, even in a church setup, a pastor wants to change even one person. So what we are really trying to think about is basically how we can be able to change the situation in Kenya. One of the things I would say here from my side where I am today, the discussion in this country where I am today is about 14th of December, there will be vaccines here. You understand? And they are coming in 249,000 doses. And what are they talking about? They are talking briefly about who are going to be the first beneficiaries. They talk of homes where people have where there are homes, where people are put there as old age and those age-related cases. They are talking of setups where there are doctors. That's where their priorities are. Honestly, as we sit here today, those are the benchmarks that we really have to create. And we talk, and I think the chair now, Arama, let's pull our strings together as a member. And remember, nyumbani ni nyumbani. That's the one of the things I always remind people, that come what may, home is home. So as we are discussing here, come up with the style and how we can really pull our strings, touch the right people. You know, there are those key opinion guys. I would say there are key opinion people who can touch their hearts, and it will make a change. Otherwise, thank you, and I'll take this opportunity to say hi. As we now start to talk about this issue, let's say hi to one another first, and then progress to the topic of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Daktari. I see a gentleman here, he just says user. So I'll just call him user. Please introduce yourself.
Maybe he can't hear you. Ama anataka.
Ajui kama ni yeye user.
I was saying Monda is in.
Checkered shirt. You know, you're gonna square hivi.
Checkered shirt is me. Ram.
Hey. Sasa unajua.
No, unajua I tried to use my phone, but the camera is not clear, so I took the laptop from my daughter.
Uh-oh.
I think I'm glad I wasn't enrolled as her. So this is even an upgraded.
Okay.
So we are again, for obvious reason, talking in a very difficult time about a disease which is airborne, and everybody must breathe. This is the time that our president has taken vacation. So it just show you how there is parallel. So I think I communicated even to embassies that they will be out for a month, having earned this vacation. In fact, in the hill, or in the eve when doctors were downing their tools. In the eve when, I even look at the bad man Trump and how he was there, the one reporting in the US, with all his inequity and all his trouble and all his war with media. He was the one reporting this as the commander-in-chief. I remember almost every day, of course, sometime doing the politics, but he took the bull by the horn. And we all know that Trump actually failed for one of the things that made his dream took a nosedive, really, was the mismanagement of COVID. But at least he was talking to his citizens every day or every other day. Here, it is a ceremony when the president addresses. It is a red carpet. It is 2 months. The last time he spoke was that conference that he had where the deputy president did show up, and everybody showed up, the likes of Mudavadi, and actually nobody brought up the issue of KEMSA. It is a valley of broken dreams, because remember, he had ordered KEMSA report in 2 weeks. It never came. He had ordered the director of prosecution and DCI to also complete the investigation. No, nothing. There is a very watered down and almost a sanitizing report by the Committee of Health in Parliament, as you will expect, because there is a big fusion between the executive now and Parliament. So that oversight and accountability is very weakened. It was more of, so and so did it, and so did it, and we never got into any conclusion, actually. But most Kenyans concluded this is simply a sanitizing effort. So consider that this is the time that the president say, hey, I'm out, guys. See you at the coast. I'm taking a vacation, a well-earned vacation, to just nail it that you are on your own. I have set the BBI ball rolling. It's moving. Now I can take a well-deserved rest. It is something that, overwhelm the citizens as Kenyans. So we will talk about it, but things are tough here. There is no honor among thieves, as they say. And again, I will bring the angle of corruption when I'm contributing, because I think one thing that corruption does is to weaken governance. And we are seeing that corruption form its own structure, almost like cancer, take part in the DNA of the body and again form a parallel system within the body that disrupt everything. So that as we even talk of war on corruption, we are actually talking of war for corruption. We have changed regime, fellow Kenyans, even in diaspora. You know, there was corruption during Moi time. We thought it would change with Kibaki. That is when Anglo-Leasing came, Gidongo left. Now with Kenyatta, you are seeing the same corruption. So it appears that we must really crack our head to, is it about changing the regime, or this system is so embedded that there is nothing we can do, or what can we do if it is regulation and they have also duplicated regulation? But meanwhile, I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Daktari. Isaac Onyando, you're muted, Isaac.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
This is Isaac Onyando from Baledogle in Somalia. I've joined in and I've found you guys discussing about the COVID pandemic, the corruption in Kenya, president going for vacation and everything. These are difficult times, and Kenyans are really suffering. And it is upon the government and upon all the individuals in Kenya to take responsibility to make sure that this pandemic doesn't really affect us as much. It is individual responsibility, and it's also government responsibility that they make sure that the citizens are going to get out of this pandemic alive, and we get out with an economy that is going to be working. For example, right now, the CSS and the CSS concerned with health, the devolved functions that are concerned with health, the county governments need to put measures in place so that they make sure that this pandemic does not really make Kenya be a country that is going to be a laughing stock in the future. So for me, I'm only going to appeal to our leaders to ensure to take measures equip our hospital, to equip our doctors with the right PPE so that when this pandemic gets out of hand, they will be able to be the people in the front line to make sure that Kenyans can also come out of this thing stronger than they are right now. So for me, I just wanted to say hi and to tell you that I'm here listening to everything that is going to go on, and I will contribute as time goes by.
Thank you. There is somebody here there is no name, but he says iPhone, so I'll just call him iPhone for now. If it's your chance, if you want to show your face, alafu uongee, please. In the meantime, Bwana Monda, get ready. We'll come next to you next. All right. Looks like the iPhone is not available. Bwana Monda. David.
Okay, unanipata ndugu?
Yes.
Okay, asante sana kwa wakati huu tutaweza kula gumzo kutafakari kwa hili jambo nyeti la madaktari wetu. Mimi tafadhali bwana mwenyekiti, ukinipa nafasi ningeweza kuwa na fikra mbadala kidogo. Kwa jambo la kwanza, ningalipenda mkuu wa KPDM aweze kufafanua kwa vidokezi hivi kadha wa kadha. La kwanza ni hiki: lazima tuwe na shirika la kikatiba cha wauguzi na madaktari, yani Constitutional Commission. Lazima kiingizwe kikatiba. Mbona 2010 hakikuingizwa pale? Tungaliweza kutatua maneno kama haya siku za nyuma. La pili, mimi ningalihisi madaktari wetu vile sisi wana diaspora tulifanya miaka ya nyuma. Tulipiga kura na miguu, tulijua ya kwamba serikali haitujali, tukapiga kura kwa miguu tukaondoka. Mimi ningalipiga debe madaktari wetu. Kama serikali haikushughulikii, tafuta nafsi yako kwingine. Enda Afrika Kusini, enda Botswana, enda Namibia, enda Ulaya, kuja hapa Marekani. Ndiposa wanadaktari wakianza kuondoka, wauguzi wakiondoka, serikali itaamka. Lazima niseme bwana mwenyekiti kwamba uzalendo haukulipi madeni. Na kama serikali haikujali, lazima ushikilie na uweze kushughulikia familia yako. La tatu ni hiki: bwana mwenyekiti, mbona kuna mgawanyiko? Mimi nimeona utengano mkubwa kati ya KNUN, Kenya National Union of Nurses, na KPDMU. Ni kama upande wa KNUN wametoa mgomo wakati huu, lakini KPDMU imesema ya kwamba ngoja tusalie wiki mbili ndiposa tuanze mgomo wetu. Jambo hili linaleta ile dhana ya kwamba kuna utengano kati ya wauguzi na madaktari. Umoja uko wapi? Kumalizia ndugu mwenyekiti, ni kusema hivi: mbona kule Kenya tuna waajiri madaktari kutoka Cuba jamani? Na madaktari wetu wa Kenya hawana kazi. Jambo hili limewezaje kuwa kwenye Kenya mwaka huu jamani? Na KPDMU ipo. Tuna waajiri wa Cuba na watoto wetu, madaktari wetu wafa, wanafuzu na hawana kazi jamani. Kitendawili hiki tutalitatua vipi? Asante bwana mwenyekiti.
Asante bwana Monda. Inaonekana the next guy ameondoka. Njogu.
Na Monda ameweka hapi sura leo. Na Monda amejificha kabisa. Amekuwa sniper.
Amepeana launi ya sura leo, hataki kuweka. Njogu.
Habari ndugu.
Salama.
Na wasalimia wote walio kwa hii panel. Mwema jioni njema hapa kwetu Sialo. Hii nchi yetu sijui tuseme nini, ni kama tulilogo na mwenye alituloga akakufa. We don't put our priorities right. Hadi saa hii madaktari wanakufa, nchi zingine wanajipanga venye watasefu watu wao, lakini sisi ile kitu tunataka nani atakuwa kwa mamlaka, nani yako popular kuliko mwingine. Jamani, tuko na shida. Na yote niambie wa Kenya na wasikie, these guys, they have no mercy to anyone. They think about themselves. Na hii imekuja kuwa clear na hii BBI, na who supported and who does not support it. Unataka kuniambia sasa hii BBI ndio ya maana kuliko sasa madaktari wamegoma? Nobody talking about that. Nurses, they are home at this pandemic, and people wa Kenya sasa wako nayo ni mwenye atakalia mamlaka, ni mwenye watakuwa na BBI, instead of thinking of Kenyans. Tutakufa wote, sijui watakuja kutawala nani, but time is coming that people speak in one language. I normally say we have two tribes, the rich and the poor, the have and have not. And mnaona hiyo ndio inakuja, hiyo ndio imekuja kukua, because soon or very soon people come to believe me. And the other thing is, wao wako na pesa, wakigojeka wanapelekwa hizi hospitali kubwa kubwa. Na ule maskini ako huko kwetu Godori, ule maskini ako huko nini Moranga huko chini, mwenye ako huko Mandela. Bwana wafikirie wa watu jamani. Na kule kuna kuwaga na shida. Kama hapa Amerika, hakuna hospitali ya matajiri ama ya maskini. Any hospital you go to, you get the best services. Sasa kama mimi niko hapa, niko mali kunaitwa Kirkland. Nikipata accident here, I'll go to the next hospital. Na hiyo, the richest person here, hiyo ndio atapelekwa kupata emergency. And you get the same services. Because we are all human beings. And hope one day, Kenya itakuja kuwa the same. Thank you for now.
It's good to have you guys. It's a pleasure. Naona leo panel ni ndefu sana. Nashukuru kuwaona. We already have 11 panelists online. It's a pleasure to have you guys. Now, there's something that's been happening in the country. Morocco yesterday only launched mass vaccination for its citizens. Free mass vaccination for its citizens. Free. Kenya, remember we bought masks, and even the masks that were donated actually disappeared. Pale airports zingine zilienda Ethiopia, zilienda wapi. In this country, we are yet to hear any conversations around actually vaccinating citizens. Not even vaccinating with money or for free. We have not had any conversation about any vaccinations. Where you guys are generally, what's going on there? Do you feel like the government is not very keen or sensitive to the issues of its citizens? Wacha taanza tena back to back from Marama all the way down.
Okay. I think, how can I say this in a nice way? Let me just say this. We reap what we sow, because the government and the politician and every leader knows that our Kenya tutaenda tu ni wapumbaze hapa kidogo, like I say, shiny objects. You throw some balloons and stuff here and there, accuse your opponent. If you are in the ODM or the opposition, I don't even know there is any opposition anymore. If you're in a certain region, you align yourself with this group, then you speak up. Now, to some other extent, when you move out from one group, then you become the hero. But people never stop and question and say, hey, why even now? Nobody can tell you how much it will cost you to do a COVID test. Nobody can even tell you where you can go and do that COVID test if you want to do it. You don't have that information. But people don't ask this question. And then, surprisingly, you find the place where the information doesn't reach, miraculously, the booklet that is supposed to collect signatures for BBI was able to be delivered to that area. People don't even stop and ask and say, hey, before we sign BBI, Enubas, take advantage, use that as a leverage. Before we sign the signature, you need to do a COVID test. Maybe then they will do the test for you for free. But we don't hold these people accountable. We don't hold them accountable, and we don't ask questions. To me, it's very worrying right now that, because I know that WHO has plans to support member countries to ensure that each country gets a vaccine. But the problem is, if the government is not concerned, has no plan, kazi ya mtu ni kuja every day kutangaza, oh, today we have 500 cases. Out of 500, 2 of them died, the other ones have recovered. What is that? 500, you know, the country has a population of, I don't know how many millions right now. So when you tell me 500, if you are testing 500 people, or if you are testing 600, and out of 600, 500 COVID, what is that percentage? What does it tell you? So it's very concerning to me at this moment that there is no plan, nobody is saying anything, and worst of all, the people who are actually supposed to run and implement and come up with policies, namely the members of parliament, the House and the Senate, kazi yao ni kukaa tu na collect sitting allowance. Nothing else they do. Nobody is coming up with a plan. Even the people who say, oh, we have walked out of the government now, it's not doing the right thing for the people. I've not even had a blip from everybody.
All right.
You know, and it saddens me that now we are again splitting the issue of COVID and the challenges we face with COVID in between, supporters of BBI and those who oppose BBI. This virus has nothing to do with the COVID. It has everything to do with your life, your family life, your brothers, your sisters, your parents, your friends, your neighbors. That's all it has to do with. Can we forget for a second, for a minute, for a day? Let's forget about BBI and ask one simple question. Mr. President, what is your plan with my life? Mr. Governor, what is your plan with my life? My MP, what is your plan with my life? My senator, what is your plan with my life? Because this virus is a threat to my life. What is your plan? Can you ask your MCA, what is your plan with my life? Because these people, they are getting paid every day. They get sitting allowances and all kinds of money. But wewe kila siku, you hear people dying. I mean, I can tell you the number of fundraisers that I am involved in almost on a weekly basis. Back home right now, one of my neighbors, a few months ago, the mom died. Now, last week, the gentleman died. His wife and kids are already in quarantine because he died of COVID. Now, we don't know who is going to survive among those. And, you know, we are praying and hoping that they will survive, come out of it okay.
All right.
And there's so many stories like this everywhere. Guys, can we ask this question and hold this government and our politicians accountable? Can we rise up? Can we protect our doctors? You know, if you're a teacher, this is the time you need to band together. Like Wanamonda said, I'm not even talking about the nurses. Can every worker, every union, every organization that has every sector that has some sort of organization or union, can we rise up and band together and say, hey, we are not joking anymore. This is dangerous. Can we rise up to that point?